of their status, and when they are about to marry, are they aware of the status of the persons they are in love with, and so go ahead and marry and create the problems that we're talking about?
So, Dave, I will tell you a story to answer this question. What we do know is that most churches do ask the will-be couple to go for some of these tests, and sickle cell is one of them.
So when they are about doing the counseling,
so that is when they are about doing the counseling, and mostly during this period, you all know that people might have gone in, they have agreed to do everything. There's this story about this guy I always say who traveled from UK down to Ghana to marry a lady, and when the guy came down, the lady's mother was a nurse. So after knowing the status of the guy when he arrived, the woman being a nurse advised the daughter not to go in. Why? Because the man was AS and the daughter was AC, and so there was the possibility of giving birth to a
25%, like
yes. So
to talk about.
When you do the permutation, you see that 25% chance is there. But the idea is that this man came all the way because of this marriage. So he had bought all the things he needed for the marriage, the suit, the bride, everything about all that, and that is why he came down. So it was a difficult decision to be made then, and when the mother brought them to us, we had to go through the counseling session. But David, what we can do is to tell somebody not to marry. Our duty is to be able to explain for you to know the possibilities or the chances of giving birth to a possible child. So we cannot, write for this, right? You can't insist that you are not supposed to marry this one. What you need to know is to give them the right informed knowledge for them to be able to make that reproductive decision on. And so most people, that is why we are happy for giving us this opportunity to be able to, share our knowledge on sickle cell disease this morning. We want to thank you for that opportunity. So what we are doing is to be able to enter the schools as early as the JHS, the high schools, to be able to know their status before they even get to the tertiary, where they get to know that this is somebody I would like to marry in the near future.
I don't know whether you gave a conclusion to that story. So what happened? This man who came from the UK and the nurse, the in-law, the supposed in-law, or will-be in-law, let me put it that way, who's a nurse, was advising them. Did they go ahead to marry or did they not?
So David, what we did is that this happened at the consulting room, where we had done with our education. But we tried to find out from the mother.
You follow up?
That is what I'm trying to say. We tried to find out from the mother, but the mother said these guys were very serious. They wanted to marry, and they went ahead and married. So as to the outcome of the marriage, nobody knows.
How come? And Doc, Mr. Kwabata, I'll come to you shortly. But Doc, how come oftentimes love overrides logic?
As for that, it's very difficult to explain. If you have love, most of the time it's that you don't think. So possibly that is it. But that is why we have a patient group, a patient support group. So if you have patients or people with sickle cell disease coming to talk to you about the problems,